Several of you have been wanting me to talk about this story right here. I can't tell you how many emails I have received concerning this story here, probably within the last day. So I said, let me go ahead and look into it because, believe it or not, I was not too familiar with this story prior to me doing this video. And it's not because I didn't care, but you got to understand that I get so many emails every day. I get bombarded with stories all the time, and I really sometimes don't get the chance to sit down and just like read every last one of them. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk about this one because this incident that I'm about to bring to you took an interesting turn. A cowardice one at that. So in this picture, you see on the left, a black man by the name of James Scurlock. He was 22 years old, and on the right, you see a man by the name of Jake Gardner, who was 38 years old. So this goes all the way back. This story goes all the way back to the week that George Floyd was murdered, and protesting and everything like that. So James Scurlock was out there protesting like many people around the world were doing when this incident with George Floyd happened in Minnesota. And by the way, this occurred in Nebraska. And James was out there protesting. And then Jake Gardner, who is the guy you see right here, was the owner of a bar. As you can see right there in the background, I'm guessing that's the bar that he owned. He came out and decided to shoot into the crowd. And one of the bullets that he shot ended up hitting James Scurlock, and it killed him. Yes, so this man killed this man right here on the left. Like I said, he was 22 years of age. Well, it actually, went to a grand jury, and last week, Jake Gardner was indicted by the grand jury for the murder of James Scurlock. So, usually those things rarely happen. Usually they'll come out back with the usual thing and whatnot of saying that, there wasn't enough evidence to actually charge him with anything. But it turns out that they did. However, plot twist, a week later, they find out that Jake Gardner, the one who shot and killed James Scurlock, who just got indicted by a grand jury, was found dead by an apparent suicide. When I heard that, I said the guilt got to him. He probably thought he was going to skate on by and nothing would happen to him. And when he found out, the pressure got to him and he killed himself. That's the only thing I could come up with. Why else would he have committed suicide? Like, who had anything on this guy for him to want to take his own life? It was, in my opinion, the guilt got to him. Like I said, he probably didn't think anything would happen to him, and he ended up killing himself, like the coward that he is. So I'm gonna go ahead and read the article. That's just basically the summary of it. Hopefully the article will go into much more detail. A Nebraska bar owner who was indicted by a grand jury last week in the fatal shooting of a black protester has died by suicide, his attorney Stu Dornan announced during a news conference Sunday. The family of Jake Gardner has asked Tom Monahan and myself to share the news of his death today at his own hand. Gardner, age 38, was found dead inside of a medical clinic. So let me go ahead and repeat that part. Gardner, age 38, was found dead inside a medical clinic outside of Portland, Oregon, Sunday afternoon, the Hillsborough Police Department said in a news release. Gardner was indicted by a Douglas County, Nebraska grand jury Wednesday on charges of manslaughter, the use of a firearm, and the commission of a felony, attempted first-degree assault, and terroristic threats. The charges stem from a May 30th shooting of 22-year-old James Scurlock outside of Gardner's Omaha bar during protests related to the police killing of George Floyd. A video of the incident showed Gardner's father push a protester after asking them to leave the area around the Gatsby bar. The unidentified man pushed Gardner's father back, and Gardner intervened, showing a handgun, according to Douglas County Attorney Don Klein. Two protesters then jumped on Gardner's back, and he fired 2 warning shots. Scurlock, who was not a part of the initial confrontation, then entered the scene. Gardner said he was put in a headlock and begged to be let go before shooting Scurlock in the clavicle. Klein initially declined to bring charges against Gardner, saying he acted in self-defense and didn't believe he was somebody who walked out and was trying to hunt somebody down. But only days later, Klein asked for a grand jury to review his decision. Dornan described Gardner as a decorated veteran who served 2 tours in Iraq and suffered from 2 traumatic brain injuries. The attorney said that his client had cooperated with authorities the night of the shooting. He told us that he felt like he was in the war zone that night outside of his bar with violence, the tear gas, and the mass confusion. Dornan said there was great risk to Mr. Gardner following the shooting, so he left town. He was scheduled to return to Nebraska Sunday night to face the charges. Dornan said the indictment was a shock to Gardner and called the shooting a clear case of self-defense. That right there, in my opinion, is what is, like I said, is why he killed himself. They said it was a shock to him because they had told him initially early on that there wasn't enough evidence to charge him with anything, or, with the grand jury and whatnot. And when they came back and said, well, we actually do have something we can charge you with. We have a couple of things to charge you with, and here they are. So make your way back to Nebraska so we can go ahead and move this thing forward. Now there won't be a case because the victim is dead and the shooter, the suspect, is dead. But like I said, him committing suicide, in my honest opinion, was the easy yet cowardice way out. And in my opinion, and I think many others' opinions, says that he just admitted his own guilt when he did that. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. Condolences go out to James Scurlock and his family.